increasing the representation of women and minorities, well, overall in the market, and especially in technology and in the Salesforce space, is continues to be a priority. There's still not enough women and not enough minorities and in key roles, especially in the higher pay jobs like architects, for example. 1 out of 10 architects are women. It's a very, very low participation, very small percentage. What's your perspective in terms of what the market is asking for? Is what's the demand for more diverse candidates and talent, based on what you're seeing, and how to go about finding candidates that from all kinds of demographics and cultures, right? To really increase the diversity and the representation of minorities in our Salesforce ecosystem.
Yeah, that's a great question. And sometimes I do have clients that say, Chris, they could be a minority-based company or women-owned business as well, and so they're looking to continue to represent that model. And so they are a little bit more selective as far as who they choose to hire in, just to help reach and be able to do what their initiatives are, and some of their mission statement, et cetera. Some candidates come to me and say, Chris, I'm looking for a diverse workplace, right? And so they could be a minority, part of a minority group right now, and they're looking to move into another position where it's they can feel like they can have equal representation. And so a lot of times I try to open up to the individual as far as talk to me about what an ideal company would look like for you. And so that can help me understand a little bit more about what to look out for to make sure it's a good fit. And I also tell the candidate a lot of times, ask those tough questions to the hiring manager when you're going through the interview process. Like as a recruiter, I can tell you a little bit about the company based on a little bit of knowledge that I know, and looking at LinkedIn and finding out, the minority situation and how many are women that are working there, et cetera. But, you need to also ask the hiring managers and internal HR what their thoughts are about that. I think hearing it face to face during the interview to make sure you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable with what's being said, and maybe they're just, kind of just throwing out buzzwords and just more of the, the hearsay as far as the market goes, then if it doesn't make you feel like they're telling you the truth, then maybe it's not a good fit for you. And with it's, with the architects, like you're saying, 1 out of 10, I'm hoping that more admins that are female will continue to strive for that architect name and title, right? I know it's, IT in general has been a very male dominant workforce. I've been in IT for many years before getting into recruiting, and I get that. But I think the way that Salesforce is spreading the message and the marketing that they're doing and trying to help enforce and bubble up the minority situation, the women-based situation, and things like that, I think it's good for the ecosystem, and hopefully it gives those who feel like they don't have a voice the ability to speak up and be able to strive to make that architect level or whatever they strive to be doing.
Definitely, and Salesforce has been such a great advocate and champion role model, really, to promote equality is one of their core values, right? So definitely that's cascading to many industries and other companies, and all steps in the right direction. But what I'm hearing, perhaps, that the interest in working in more diverse companies, cultures, environments is more often you're hearing that from the candidate's perspective.
That's
I'm wondering, what are you hearing from the hiring managers and clients?
Yeah, and unfortunately, I'm not hearing that much on the hiring side. I think hiring is hard as it is, right? And so and that doesn't mean that they're not saying, Chris, only find me this, or only find me that. They're just saying, Chris, find me these skill sets. I don't care, the color or creed or religion that they're a part of. I just need a skill set to be matched, right? And so they're not coming to me and saying, Chris, I'm only looking for this, or I'm only looking for that outside of the skill set. And so I think, on the priority list, it's skill set really where they're turning to me for to be able to find that. but I've never had it that be the reverse, saying, well, we don't care about the skills or the experience as much as we care about them being an underrepresented minority.
Diverse candidate.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it'd be great if I had those kind of those type of job requests, because I have plenty of candidates that come to me looking for that representation. But a lot of times they're either junior level or just don't have the skill set that meet the demands of the client. So it's a tough situation as a recruiter, because I'm trying to play both sides of the fence here with the clients asking for this skill set wise, and the candidates asking for this as far as being an underrepresented minority to be able to get their foot in the door somewhere.
Yeah, it is a tough problem to crack. I mean, the problem is very simple, but the solution is not simple. I've been in that situation, where you have a need to hire, you want to hire the best candidate you can find out. If you can find one, we want to hire that person, right? Doesn't matter who the person is. We just want to hire someone that has this skill set. And imagine if 1 out of 10 maybe in that pool is a female, for example, then you almost have to be a magician to find the one woman or minority that will be fit, right? The skills that you're looking for, because the problem is that we don't have there isn't a large enough pipeline, right, of candidates available to be able to solve the diversity challenge soon, right?
Right. I mean, just this morning, I interviewed a candidate, a solution architect. She was female. She was Asian. I mean, we had a great conversation. I mean, she was one of the more experienced solution architects I have ever spoke with over the last few years. And I told her, I was like, your skill set is second to none. And I think you're not going to have a problem finding your next position. And so it's always, it causes me to have some enthusiasm when I'm able to speak to females or underrepresented groups where, they have the skill sets and they're achieving success, and they're on par with the white dominant male situation that we're seeing in IT. So it really inspires me to see more females like that. There's these, there's various groups now that continue to, and they have Salesforce Moms, where a girl out of UK, a female out of the UK, is representing that group. And so I think things are continue to bubble up here, and new groups being formed, and there's new discords that are happening, and new communities that continue to form to be able to represent this. And I think as long as that continues forward, it's going to make some momentum. It just takes time.
That's a great point. There are a few, organizations out there that I also follow that I think are great starting points for hiring managers to connect with, to try to reach a more broader pool of candidates, like Merivis, for example, that they focus on the veterans and military spouses. There's also the PepUp Tech nonprofit as well, specifically focused on increasing the representation of minorities in tech. You also have programs like Pathfinder, which is the joint Deloitte and Salesforce training program in Indianapolis, creating, training candidates both on the technical skills as well as the soft skills, right? The business skills, more for entry-level jobs. Nonetheless, it's a great place to go and find candidates for Salesforce skills.